A slave's body falls into the sea on Mauritius Island in 1759. She asks her husband Mas Samba to never give up and to help their people as she drowns to death. A group of slaves, including Mas Samba, continue to labor on Eugene's estate the following day. Eugene requests that Mas Samba monitor the situation and ensure that no one is slacking off because there are just 2 weeks left before harvest. In addition, he refers to him as Cicero rather than by his given name. Because of this, he is perceived as a traitor by another slave. Mas Samba gives his daughter Maddie further reading and writing instruction that evening. Maddie interrupts the lesson to share that her friend Ruba showed her a path on the southwest that should take them to Fabumi, a village where all runaway slaves hide. She wants to run away, but Mas Samba forbids it, saying that Fabumi is just a myth. The potential danger gets more obvious when they see a guard capturing a slave outside. The following morning, Eugene and his guards catch another slave who tried to escape. Since this was her first try, they burn her back to mark her with a lily flower. If she ever tries again, her ears and tendons will be cut off. Mas Samba has to translate this warning for the other slaves while a man loses his ears because he was caught a second time. Eugene then asks Mas Samba to remind everyone that a third escape attempt is punished with death. In the middle of the night, Mas Samba finds Maddie having a panic attack after one of the guards abused her. He hugs her tightly and guides her through it with prayers until she calms down. Afterward, Maddie insists they should kill all their masters and run, pointing out that the other slaves will follow him as a leader. Mas Samba still refuses and calls Maddie Colette, which she hates. While Mas Samba prioritizes her future and thinks that by assimilating with the colonists, she will be able to find employment as a seamstress far from the plantation, Maddie does not want to abandon her culture. Mas Samba is summoned to the main house later on, where Eugene is dining with some high-ranking officials. Mas Samba can speak 2 languages, and the governor wants him to assist him comprehend the slaves. When he asks if black people should be released, Mas Samba responds that they are only there to serve because he is afraid. The governor is offended when he looks up to speak, and Eugene dismisses Mas Samba right away. Eugene's son Honoré explains he was the one to train Mas Samba because he grew up here in the plantation and quickly understood that some slave were trying to rise. Teaching Mas Samba convinced him that black people are also human. The governor brings up Madame La Victoire, a woman who hunts down runaway slaves and has the opposite views. An argument ensues over the treatment of slaves, and Eugene has to silence Honoré to avoid trouble. However, the governor now thinks Eugene doesn't rule this area well. After the governor leaves, Eugene slaps Honoré for spewing his troublesome views. Then he calls Mas Samba to announce he's losing all his privileges. He'll cut cane like the others, and he won't live with his daughter anymore. Maddie will stay under Eugene's roof, and if Mas Samba tries to protest, he'll kill her. When Maddie hears about this, she tries to self-delete, but Mas Samba stops her and sends her to the house. Seconds later, Mas Samba hears the dogs barking and lots of screaming. He immediately runs out and finds a guard on fire, but no Maddie in sight. The other guards tell him that Maddie ran away before sending him back to his room. The guards inform Eugene that they were unable to locate Maddie the following morning. Before instructing Honoré to join the search to repair the family's reputation, Eugene requests that they call Madame La Victoire. Honoré is compelled to concur, but he also requests that his father treat Maddie better when he returns her. Mas Samba has no idea where Maddie went, but he is later bound to the ground and lashed for a number of minutes to get him to talk. Just then, Madame La Victoire shows in with her boys, Baptiste and Joseph. She requests the specifics of Maddie's escape and declines Eugene's money. Victoire tries interrogating Mas Samba, explaining that she'll bring Maddie alive because she believes in punishment, but Mas Samba continues to swear he knows nothing. Then they bring Maddie's friend Ruba, and since she's pregnant, They dig a hole in the ground for her belly before tying her up. They only need to whip her feet once before she tells them Maddie went looking for the Fabumi village. Victoire has heard of the legend before and immediately leaves with her sons and Honoré to start the search. Using Maddie's clothes, a dog follows her smell through the forest until Victoire finds marks on the ground that indicate Maddie met someone and left with them. A hill in the distance is visible to the group a few hours later, but they realize there are no more trails to follow. They make the decision to climb to the summit and wait to see if anyone emerges. Ma Samba has been imprisoned in a small cell inside the plantation, with a chain mask over his head. Ruba rejects him when he pleads with her for assistance. Ruba keeps the dogs calm by throwing food to them once everyone is finished working. Later that evening, Ruba quickly returns to Miss Samba's room after discreetly slinking her out of the jail. Ma Samba is able to run through the field undetected since the dogs are asleep. The next morning, Victoire's sons think Maddie is gone and they're wasting time, but Victoire thinks they need to be patient. Meanwhile, Ma Samba has reached the forest and stops by the river to drink, which is hard because of the mask. After hitting the lock for several minutes with a rock, he manages to break it and take the mask off. Using branches to create shadows under the bright sun, he can find the right direction to continue the search for his daughter. That night, Victoire scolds Honoré for eating without manners like a black savage and forces all the boys to pray. She explains God has always been her guide and saved her in the darkest times. Honoré has already heard her story. He knows she was abused as a child, forced into an unwanted marriage as a teenager, and the first woman on the island to be divorced. He thinks she's the only person on the island who knows the horrors the slaves go through and should be sympathetic, but Victoire insists that the church has proven that black people have no souls. She doesn't think it's her place to question the church, yet Honoré can tell she has doubts. During the night, Ma Samba dreams that his wife is by his side. The following day, Ma Samba starts going up the hill and is seen by Victoire. He hears a commotion as he begins to meander amid the trees and is led by a black man named Kabidi. Victor's group has gone into the woods to search for them, so they all hide from them, including a black woman with a baby. Slaves must begin running as quickly as they can when the baby begins to scream and Baptiste hears them. Since they are unable to travel far, Kabidi forces the mother to hide and hands Ma Samba one of his knives. Baptiste fires when he approaches close enough, but the slaves avoid it and Ma Samba is able to throw him to the ground. Baptiste fights back as Ma Samba tries to hit him to knock him out. However, Ma Samba freezes when suddenly Honoré calls his name and asks him to surrender. Kabidi then appears behind Honoré and quickly kills him by slashing his neck. After asking Ma Samba to do the same, Kabidi runs to hide. Ma Samba stares at Baptiste, but he can't bring himself to do it, so he runs away too. With Joseph now running after him, Ma Samba moves as quickly as possible until he's suddenly tackled by a black man named Rado, who helps him find a place to hide. Once Joseph leaves, the men keep going and Rado explains he's looking for the Fabumi village. They stop at a cave where Rado shares the little food he has plus a fresh shirt while telling the story behind his uniform. He used to fight for France, and they even made him a citizen. However, when he came to this island, they burned his freedom papers and tried to force him into slavery. Meanwhile, Victoire is taking care of Honoré's body. Baptiste points out that the slaves spared him like a good Christian would have, and that wording isn't received well by his family. Victoire spends most of the night praying. In the morning, she announces the Lord is protecting them, so they must continue the hunt. However, Baptiste refuses to go after the man who spared his life, so instead he'll take Honoré back to his father. Victoire only stares helplessly as an enraged Joseph leaps on his brother, and they begin fighting on the ground. Baptiste defeats his brother after a few minutes of wrestling, and he takes Honoré's body with him as they depart the forest. Shortly after, Mas Samba starts moving once more, searching for his daughter by following plant and ground trails. Joseph shoots Rado's leg to bring him down when he attempts to exit the cave as well. Then, as he and Victoire question him about Maddie and Mas Samba, Joseph applies pressure to the wound. Victoire shoots Rado in the head because he won't speak and claims that this island is for black people. The duo searches the cave and finds Masamba's old shirt, so now the dog can follow his smell. In just a few minutes, the dog finds Mas Samba crossing the river and jumps to attack him, unaware there's a waterfall behind them. They both fall into the lake below, and Mas Samba tries swimming as fast as he can, but the dog easily catches up to him and bites his arm. As he screams in pain, Mas Samba pushes the dog off and grabs a rock to smash the beast's head to death. On top of the waterfall, Joseph and Victoire see Mas Samba escape into the woods. For the next few hours, Mas Samba continues to wander around the forest while following any track he can find. He eventually has to stop and rest because his blood loss is too great. While searching in the rain, Victoire and Joseph come upon some blood on a tree, which provides them with a necessary clue. That night, Mas Samba had another dream about his wife, and she gave him words of encouragement, blessing him and promising to guide him. When Mas Samba arrives to the beach the next day, he discovers numerous dead slaves in the water and on the sand. Additionally, a boat has been destroyed, indicating that the storm prevented them from fleeing to Madagascar. When he is unable to locate Maddie after checking everyone on the shore, Mas Samba retreats back into the bushes. He follows a strange noise and finds a few survivors, so he asks them about Maddie before collapsing in pain and tears. The men help him up and take him to a cave near the beach where the women are hiding. Here he finally finds Maddie and runs to hug her, but there isn't much of a reaction from her. Mas Samba then announces he'll help her find Fabomi, which makes Maddie smile and finally hug him back. After Mas Samba and Maddie leave together, Victoire and Joseph also make it to the beach and find all the bodies. They follow Masamba's footprints on the sand to continue their hunt, forcing Maddie and Mas Samba into hiding. Maddie says she's tired of hiding, and Mas Samba agrees it's time to make a plan. That night, Mas Samba does a traditional ritual to renew his promise to his wife and asks for courage to fight his enemies. As the moonlight moves around him, Mas Samba hears his wife's voice saying they're now one before it starts to rain. Meanwhile, Victoire and Joseph are camping for the night. Victoire hears a noise and pushes Yaspe down right before a blade attacks in the darkness. Mother and son immediately grab their weapons and stumble around blindly as they try to find the source of the attack. Suddenly, Joseph hears a noise and opens fire, giving away his position for Mas Samba to quickly slash him with a blade before hiding again. When Victoire sees that her kid is in excruciating pain, she rushes to him and stabs him to put an end to his agony. She then ducks behind a tree, only to emerge when she spots Mas Samba standing close by. Victoire moves stealthily, using the lightning as cover, until she ambushes Mas Samba by shooting him in the shoulder from behind. She then reaches for her knife to murder him, but he is gone when she looks up. Before Mas Samba creeps up behind her and fatally stabs her, a scared Victoire begins to pray. That night, Mas Samba has a dream in which his wife appears in front of Eugene and uses a spear to kill him. Due to his injuries, Maddie must help her father move in the morning and arouse him from his daze. However, Mas Samba is too dizzy and soon collapses again. Maddie falls to her knees as she has a breakdown and yells for help. This gets the attention of a bunch of slaves who are also looking for Fabomi and recently escaped Eugene's plantation. Maddie joins the group, and the men help her carry Mas Samba as they continue their search. After several hours of wandering through the woods, they finally find the mythical village near the hills. A healer immediately makes an ointment and applies it on all of Miss Samba's wounds while praying. This helps Mas Samba heal and move without pain again. That night, the locals welcome Mas Samba and Maddie into their community and comment on some of the differences in their cultures, since many of these slaves were born on this island and not in Africa. Mas Samba shares stories about his original tribe and how his wife was killed in a colonizer's ship because she refused to be a slave. Maddie also mentions some of the stories her mother used to tell her and how she found the strength to smile at her daughter before her death. The next day, while she's bathing in the lake, Maddie sees her mother watching her from afar. In the evening, the villagers see flames in the distance, which means hunters are coming after them. Everyone starts running as the white men open fire and manage to recapture a few of the slaves. They traverse a vast field, but regrettably, a cliff blocks their path, allowing the colonists to encircle them. A man asks them to encircle them and says that the governor has promised to spare them, using a slave as a translator. Maddie begins to perform a traditional song when Mas Samba declares his desire for a life free from masters and chains. Before deleting themselves and choosing the end over slavery, the villagers sing along.